Well, hello, MAT171. There was a post on there was a question on the discussion post. Thanks for Alex asking it, and thank you so much for Heidi answering Alex's question. But I just wanted to touch base with you because this problem could be complicated, and this is also a very good problem for your coming test 1. And some part of the problem, particularly part B, is not referring that what you're supposed to know for test 1. It is believing concepts in test 2. But anyhow, so I just wanted to solve that question completely here. Again, thanks Alex and Heidi and interaction between them. This is a problem in Lab Manual, page 37. So here is the function we have. All right, and determine and simplify the average rate of change. First, just a quick recap. All right, I'm gonna take my, that will be better. Okay, just a quick recap. What is average rate of change? It's slope, actually. It is delta y, change in y over change in x. Okay, this is a common misconception. Oftentimes, student puts the differences between the x values on numerator. Pay attention to that. It is actually slope, right? Good old slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Well, your y2 values here will be coming your f of x2. y1 values will be coming f of x1. What does that mean? If you plug in x2 for function, you will get a value. Write it down. If you plug in x1 into function, you will get a value. Write it down. Take the difference between them. Order doesn't matter. If you put x2 here on top first, you need to start taking the differences on the denominator with x2. So it means that you can use this formula as y1 minus y2 all over x1 minus x2. So follow the order, right? That's what it means. So what we're going to do here, we're going to plug in f of -1 to our function 2 times -1 squared minus -1. And we're going to calculate that value. So -1 squared is 1, times 2 is 2. 2 minus -1, which is 2 plus 1, which is 3. Okay, I need to get that value recorded somewhere. That stays in. Then we need to do also the other f value, which is f of 0. Okay, I'm gonna let's write it in red. Let's calculate f of 0. 2 times 0 squared minus 0. Then f of 0 is equal to 0. Okay, now average rate of change. Let's say that I decided to take f of 0 first. Then I'm going to take f of -1 value for after. Then I need to take x equals 0 minus x equals -1. Okay, so be careful with the minuses. That's the other common mistakes with the students. So then average rate of change, f of 0, we figured out that's 0, minus f of -1, we figured out that that's 3. Here and here, all over 0 plus 1. So then for this question, average rate of change will be equal to -3 over 1, which is -3. So one thing with this question, because there's no context around it, this is just a calculation, there's no units. But if there is units, then you would write the units as whatever the y value units over x value units. That will be your units. The conceptual problems, I think on the review section, be careful with that. All right. So that's the average rate of change we are responsible. Now on part B, it's complicated because our x values are different. X equals 2, look at it, I have x equals 2 plus h. Then I need to calculate both. So f of 2 will be, remembering that the function was 2x squared minus x. Everywhere I see x, we're going to plug in 2. that will be 2 squared minus 2. All right, then f of 2 will be equal to 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. Now, f of 2 plus h, what would that be? Everywhere we see x, we're going to plug in 2 plus h squared minus, instead of x here, we're going to plug in 2 plus h. Okay, now 2 plus h squared is a binomial square. All right, so it's not going to open as 4 plus h squared. That will be a trinomial. And it will be square of the first one, multiply first and second, double it, and square of the last one, minus 2 minus h. So I distribute that minus. So from the, I know it, 2 plus h squared is equal to 2 plus h and 2 plus h. So you guys might want to do this and combine like terms, then you're going to end up with this parentheses. I know it, I memorize it, or I've been doing math and still doing math for a long time. You don't have to, but that's what it means, 2 plus h quantity squared. Then if 2 plus h will become, if you distribute that portion, 8 plus h plus 2h squared minus 2 minus h, then we need to do some simplification here. That will be 2h squared. So I've got 8h minus h, that will be 7h, and I also have 8 minus 2, which will be plus 6. Okay, now let's think about what will be the average rate of change. Average rate of change will be f of 2 minus f of 2 plus h all over, because I have written 2 here as an x value, that should come first, minus the other x value. Now I'm going to put everything together there. For f of 2 we've got 6. F of 2 plus h, we got this thing here, so it needs to go into that parentheses because there's a minus at the on the front of the parentheses. So at the bottom we're going to have 2 minus h. All right, so average rate of change, it will be 6 minus 2h squared minus 7h minus 6. We're distributing that minus there. So these will be gone, these will be gone, and at the bottom, this is my cat Marty, sorry, that's minus 8. So still not done according to the answer key, because there might be some simplification. At the bottom, sorry, on the top, that's what we have. Bottom, we can take it into h parentheses out, and then we will have negative 2h and minus 7, and all over negative h here. Right, I forgot to bring that one out there. So then when those two simplified, I left with average rate of change negative 2h minus 7 all over negative 1. It means that's just change the sign, h plus 7. I think, yeah, 2h plus 7. That's the answer. However, part B, you're not responsible yet. Part B, this part. But part B, x equals 2 and x equals 3, we should be able to do that, which I'm going to do. And before I do that, I guess I need some space here. Okay, so this part of part B, finding average rate of change with the variables, it's complicated for module 2. Not yet, we're not there yet. However, we can do this one. Average rate of change when x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3. Well, x is equal to 2, we already got that, right? So we might want to squeeze what fx equals 3 to 3 squared minus 3. Then f of 3 will be 3 squared is 9, 18, 18 minus 3 is 15. Then average rate of change will be f of 2 minus f of 3. At the bottom, follow the x order, 2 minus 3. So average rate of change, f of 2 was 6, f of 3 was 15, divided by -1. That will be -9 over -1, which will be 9, and whatever the units, that will be the answer. Okay, so again, we can do x equals 1 and x equals 1.5. Please disregard this for module 1. For module 1, we will be interested with these type of problems in module 2. So then we can go ahead and do f of 1, which is 2 times 1 squared minus 1. And f of 1 will be 2 minus 1 squared is 1, 2, 2 minus 1, 1. Now f of 1.5, that is going to be a little bit pain. Oops. Okay, 1.5 squared. Oh, yeah. 1.5 squared minus 1. So f of 1.5 is 1.5 here. Okay, so 1.5, I believe it is 225. Just let me check. Hang on a sec. 1.5 times. Yeah, 225. So 225 here times with 2 is 450. 450 minus 1 is 3.5. Okay, so then average rate of change will be f of 1.5 minus f of 1. Now I need to write down the x first. 1.5 minus 1. Then average rate of change will be 1.5. F of 1.5 is 3.5 minus 1. Is that right? 2.5. Okay. That will be 0.5. So average rate of change will be equal to 2.5 over 5. Okay. Let's see. 1.5 times 1.5 is 225 times 2. 4 minus 1 is that 3.5. 0.5 minus 1, 2.5. Oops, divide by 0.5. Yeah, 5. I think there's a mistake on the answer. Oops. I believe so. Let me just check. Yeah, it says 4, it should be 5. Yeah, on the answer key. Alright, here. No, that's right. What we've done here is right. Okay, hope it's helpful. It will be helpful. Remember that we need to find the average rate of change in terms of values. We're required to know that, but this portion that I've done algebraically, it's not gonna go in module 1 test yet. All right, see you soon.